Hi all, Vanessa DeMott, candidate for Colorado State House District 29. In the next 3 to 5 minutes, I really wanted to share a few things, important things to me that I think any candidate should be willing to share when applying for a job, such as I've been doing, to about 60,000 people. And this is a job that I want to represent you, your family, your neighbors, even the ones you don't like, zealously every day down there at the Capitol, while I believe in those issues that I'm representing to you at your doors. So it's been really exciting talking to different families and different people and getting their perspectives. And I think one thing that's really occurred to me is I'm so candid at the door to tell people who I am and why I'm passionate that there's no reason I should have been holding all of this in all along. So it's asked when you first step into politics, what skeletons do you have in your closet? And most, I suppose most the normal want to go with the feeling that they're perfect, not even a speeding ticket. So I have one of those too, but don't, we'll get into a little bit more specifics. So just to lay it out there, this is very easy to find on any person. Any background you do, you get one of these pieces of paper. This is called a CBI report, and it's only 2 pages, so don't freak out. But this is me on paper, and if you were to look for somebody or any kind of flaws, and you get stopped on this, then I feel sorry for you, because this really is going to tell a big story. And I actually invite you to join me tomorrow when I can really kind of give you both sides of this. So I kind of break my life out into 2 pieces, life before 16 and life after 16. So what I want to share with you right now from this report is just life after 16. This is your short condensed version. You get the 3 minutes of my life condensed because I want to be honest with everyone out there. So in 1999, I had my own apartment. I got it with my best friend, and I had a lot of fun. And in December, I made some pretty big mistakes and allowing some people back into my home. And that resulted in a Westminster Drug Task Force raiding my apartment, and it's everything you see on TV, and it's they bust the door in, and it's everybody's on the floor and the guns, and you're in handcuffs right away. And the investigation ran its course, and although I wasn't part of that was still my home. I obviously willingly took part, but was not charged. So those were dismissed, but that's that very first thing you would see when you pull up who is Vanessa DeMott. The next part of this is I think something a lot of people go through. So I had a DUI, a DWAI, actually a little bit later in life. And I find this is a traffic infraction. This is something, if you haven't yourself been through, you probably know somebody who has. And this is a big process. There's a lot of fines. There's a lot of time that you're consumed in repaying this debt to society. I learned a lot, and that was absolutely something that I would never do again. These next 2 pieces I want to share with you really kind of touch on some other pieces in our society that I think a lot of people still struggle with today. I got married young the first time in September of 2000. And we had separated over a pretty big deal. And what resulted was a huge fight, and I left the scene, and I ended up with a domestic violence charge and aggravated assault. I went and I fought this, and we have a great criminal justice system that allows people to plead their innocence and plead their case. I did that very thing, and I went through and was found not guilty. But that stays on there. That's what is considered, I suppose, a violent charge, but it's a misdemeanor. But I want to explain that. I want to explain to people what that is. And sometimes there's misunderstandings. Sometimes there's responsible party, but the truth is in there. And I think that's where our criminal justice can shine, to give people like me and people ongoing a chance to explain. And then lastly, with that being said, when I was arrested for that, actually was 6 months later, and it was in Northglenn. I didn't know I had a warrant out for my arrest for that violent charge. And I think I ran a stoplight, and In all of these, I will say every officer was nothing but professional, and all of these kind of came out of my own fault, right? Like the only reason I had these interactions is because of what I chose to do. And so that final interaction, actually before I stood to try in my defense for that domestic violence charge, I ended up in Adams County Jail, actually 3 months pregnant with my first daughter. So a lot of these bring experiences, and I think that's where tomorrow I really want you to join me at 7 o'clock as I talk with my husband, and I share with our community where I see an overlap in policy and why I'm so passionate about making policy that can really fit for some of these life experiences that people have, that there's always room for growth and people can always end up better. So again, that's one person on paper, but there's a whole nother person behind. So I really thank you guys for joining me and hearing just that little part of my story. Tomorrow, I want to take you through again, life before 16.